Good morning and welcome to a new episode of The Check-In, which is the little section of the Framework podcast where we get all nosy and go and see what frameworkers are doing and where they are doing it from during these times of isolation. This morning we have with us Rob Cot. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. I'm very well. How are you going?
Good. Pretty good. Still in the same place. So
Yep.
nothing
Well,
changed.
you know what? I've watched the YouTube thing a few times. What is that thing behind you? That mirror?
Which one?
It's just that mirror. It's like a flat mirror. Like
That
sits
one,
like
yes.
back here. Yeah.
Yes, that one is a little flat mirror on the wall because my girlfriend, when she was here, wanted to have another like station to do her makeup so we wouldn't have to use the toilet. And so we came up with that and it's pretty brilliant. But the funny thing is that this is the only, I don't know, good angle that I can use for these recordings. And it always has my back in it. So every time I watch it over, I kind of focus on that little weird man that is doing stuff in the mirror.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It looks like it's even got a bit of like convex shape going there.
That's probably just because I'm pretty shit at like mounting things up the walls. I'm not one of those handymans that like goes to Bunnings and knows what he's buying and has like a renovation project for the quarantine. Not at all.
Yeah, but surely you would have got better at it now since COVID's been out because you're at home and you have to do these things. I'm sure DIY has improved quite a bit.
Or I've done nothing of that stuff. Like literally zero. What about you? Are you a DIY man?
I am. I do enjoy my DIY. I love using my hands. Like this structure you're looking at now, that's something that I've popped in this room. It just gives me flexibility. I mean, like I can hang things. You know, like I've got microphone cords, you know, stuff I can hang.
That is so good.
It's actually really, really helpful. Yeah. And it also allows me to be more creative.
100%. I think it's a beautiful outlet of creativity and energy. And it gives you like a lot of satisfaction working on projects like this. At the end, whatever you've done, it feels like, whoa, look at what I've created. I remember like putting up that shelf, which took forever and like 3 holes in the wall that were not supposed to be there and having to plaster over them. So a disaster. But like at the end, feeling like, whoa, there wasn't a shelf there and now there is. And it's thanks to me. And it's, it feels amazing. It feels empowering.
Yeah. That's and I've probably told you about it, but that tiny home that I want to build, that's exactly why I want to do it. It's just like you walk into some place that everything, the walls, the stuff inside the walls, the electricity,
all yours.
The electrics. What's that?
It's all like,
that's it. Yeah.
It's all yours. It's all like, I've made this.
Yes. And then it becomes a space like this where it's really flexible and it is in essence you in that space. Whereas I think that we live in apartments and we live in houses that just restrict us a lot because we have to follow the rules that are already defined before.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. There are a couple of friends in Italy that right now are considering, instead of buying a house, building one from scratch. So buying the land and building it with like all of those new technologies that have, I don't know, like a perfect insulation and like recycling of water and heat and all of that. And I'm like, that is such a good idea. And at the end, you will have a house that screams your name rather than having to adapt one to like your needs. Yeah.
No, I'm all down for that. Yeah, it feels great.
So that's Sorry, no, go on.
Yeah, so that's actually something I wanted to. I was kind of curious about. Hearing from you, and maybe because you've been chatting to a few more folk, is like, sure, I mean, it's really bad. Like, there's a lot of horrible things that are happening, like economy and people passing away. Yes. But I was talking with a friend the other day about all the positive things that people are thinking about, and everyone's got their own take on the positive things. So, for example, me, there's going to be a lot more fish in the ocean for me to go and look at when I go and free dive. Fishing's been banned. Yeah. So like what other things along those lines that you haven't repeated, that you won't repeat, what comes to mind?
Well, I don't really know yet. Like I know that there is going to be a lot of, I think a lot of appreciation for things that are often like looked over, like nothing brushed away. So it's just like, for example, realizing that around you, you have so much more beauty that you're used to think. And so every time you have to go like away or you want to have a holiday or a weekend away or retreat, anything, you try to put some distance because you want the excitement of being in a place that is radically different. And I think like at the end of this, because of restrictions that will be in place, but also because of a slight change of culture, you will have more people that just want to explore what they have around them. Like literally in their neighborhood or in their city or in their state. Yeah. Like I think that for a little bit, the world will become a smaller place.
Yes.
And I think that there is some positive in that. I don't necessarily hope for that, but I think that that's one of the outcomes. Creativity-wise, I don't know what will change. I think that this will spike a rise in collaborations between people, especially between artists, between like creators, between just people that want to do something and realize that we have the tools to.
Yeah. Is there someone that's reached out to you that would otherwise never have reached out?
I don't know whether they would have reached out or not in other situations, but like, yes, I'm like entertaining conversations with a bunch of people saying like, oh, what could we do? How could we work on this together? How could we create something? How about we just brainstorm for the sake of brainstorming? If something comes out, great. If doesn't, done, kind of thing. What about you? What is your experience with it?
It's been awesome, actually. I
love isolation.
I think it's fantastic. There should be more disease in the world. No, okay, no. Actually, so Andy from Frame posted that thing, and you know, he for those who don't know, he's making some short films for a few of us to help out with his marketing and help out us as well, which is awesome. Yeah. So that's been great. Like everyone else has had a physical product. Mine's a service. So he was flexible and he was like, hey, we could make this work. So I've been like collabing with him. I've been like doing voiceover stuff, which has been really fun.
Amazing.
So yeah. So I'm going to send it to him. And I made a logo for myself. I know that sounds pretty normal, but I feel like I'm a shoemaker. You know how shoemakers, their shoes are always broken? So like as a designer, I don't have a freaking logo. So I've made a logo for myself. I have like so many iterations. I'm writing an article about it now of like along those lines. It's like, shoemakers, they don't fix their shoes. And it's ironic that I don't have a logo. So yeah, like there's a few collabs. And also with James from the space as well. He's talking about helping me out with my business, like running the service.
That's awesome. Yeah. But see, like having everyone find time and have more time for this kind of things, I think it's going to be beneficiary for everyone. And like that's, to be fair though, that is something that we also do very much in Framework. Like one of the
that is true.
Space is what it is. Like the society of people in it, the community is what it is because we're eager to help each other, to collaborate with each other, to create new things. And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, man, I felt that really hard when how long have I been there? Since the beginning of the year. Yeah. And like, that's exactly, I feel like it's literally, I feel like it's my family. You're my family. Like everyone in Framework is my family. Like I can just,
I want to hug you. Damn it, I want to hug you.
I want to hug you too. Just like try and get in there. I can ask anyone anything and I can be myself. Like that's pretty much the essence of, like, I feel like everyone knows me already.
That's 100% the essence of Framework. And that's why we all love that community and that family so much. Spot on.
Yeah. And I'm excited to see it go online. I'm excited to see what other creatives it can pull in and who we can interact with as well, but mainly just to grow the community for everyone else. It's just,
It is super exciting. Tell us a bit more. Like, I just don't want to change topic straight away, but I'm too curious because you teased us with the whole, like, I built this rig around me. And then like, you don't know what it is. Like, is that your bedroom? Like, is the thing on top of that a bed? Or like, tell us the secrets. Tell us the secrets.
No. Okay, I'm going to tilt it up. So basically, I do a lot of outdoor activities and I have a lot of like gear, I guess.
Yes.
So basically, my gear sits up here.
Aha.
Yeah. So it's like it's a whole level that I can store things, which allows me to just have this entire space around me free. So it just feels good. Yeah.
And what are those things covered in black in the back? Because in my brain, like obviously, the only thing I saw was like, that's an arcade. those are like old video games, like cabinets and stuff. He probably has like, I don't know, Bubble Bubble and Sonic or something like Metal Slug.
I do. No, I do. No, I'm kidding. I definitely don't.
Like, you would have been the reason I break my quarantine. I would have gone like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go to this place and we're going to play video games on cabinets for the whole fucking time.
Yeah, for like 3 months. There's 3 months worth of gaming in there for sure. No, so it's just covered furniture. But there's one thing that's kind of, I mean, I could show you, but I don't.
We'll leave it for the next one.
Okay. Yeah. So there's like sound equipment, sound recording stuff, just some shelving, basically. Just things that I keep covered.
You're a man with a lot of things. We just discovered today. Something that we don't see, like a side of you that we don't see very often in Framework, is the man with the big amount of items.
Yes. Yeah. No, I have so many interests, and it ends up being cheaper to in the long run of just getting the gear.
100%.
And that's probably why. Yeah.
I'm with you.
But I don't know. Like, I've got some weird shit in here. Like, if you look over here, this thing over here.
That's a tool, right?
Yes. It's a drill press.
Yes. Cool.
Yeah.
What a weird thing
to it kind of sits as like a feature in our room. It's got a light on it, and I like hang things off it, so it's not like almost a coat rack. I do switch it on sometimes.
Yeah, just for fun. Just go like, like whenever you have to open a water bottle or something. I'll do it in a different way.
Yeah, that's it. You gotta think differently. And also, I just leave it running at night when I'm sleeping. Just that heavy rumble of the engine.
You know that would actually make sense. You know that there are some people that can only fall asleep if they're like listening to a sound, like a wall of white sound continuously. And the most sought after solution is a hairdryer. So there's people that like. Real? Yeah. You have to look it up. It's great. Like, I don't know how to elaborate on it right now, but there are people that need like the sound of a hairdryer or like a vacuum cleaner and stuff like this to feel at ease. And so they put it on at night. So one of my roommates in Rome, and this is back in 2010, had that. And so he would go to bed and like put a hairdryer and like put it under the blankets and just wait. And so all of the night you would hear like, and that would let him go to sleep. I know it's true. It's a condition.
So he would wake up and this thing would still be going, or he had like a timer that would switch it off.
No. He would just like have it on all night.
So did you do experiments where you switched it off during the night and see if you woke up?
Nah, everyone just thought it was like so weird that it's like, we're not going to mess with that guy. It's fine.
Okay.
The guy that needs a hairdryer to sleep, he can have the hairdryer to sleep. It's all good. I don't want that to turn into like, well, like my alternative to murder you all. So, you know.
We'll find like this horrible video of this guy. Okay, no, I'm actually not going to go there.
But like, because you do so many activities, like going back to that part, what is the one that you miss the most now?
Probably spearfishing. Yeah, I can't. Well, actually, just the freedom to go out to a different location, a different national park. Because I would go to a different national park maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Just the travel limitation. So each national park also has its different activity, because I do different activities. So that's the most annoying thing. But I do miss spearfishing. Yeah, I really want to go out and
spearfishing. Obviously, I would have thought you were going to go with like bouldering or like climbing and things like that, which I think that they're still like very doable as soon as like the limitations on travel kind of get lifted. There is a lot of things to climb out there, and there's not a lot of people that want to climb them. So like, everyone should be fine, right?
Yes. Yeah, there's going to be no one. Well, if you go to like for those who aren't climbers, like crag is a place where there's a wall of rock and you can climb.
Yeah.
A wall of rock, like a massive wall out in nature, and they define that one section as a crag.
Not just like a 3 stories tall one.
Yeah, actually there is in Cathedral Ranges if you want to go.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's a multi-pitch. But yeah, so sometimes you go to certain crags and there's just like tons and tons of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's good. But I can still do it here. Like this thing is, it's exercise as well. So I can like hang off,
do pull-ups and things.
Well. Yeah.
Right.
So
do you have like a hangboard? One of those ones for your finger?
No, not really. No, I just kind of hang on a smaller edge when I'm hanging, I guess. Yeah.
See, DIY training. Not only a DIY man, but a man that trains DIY. That's great.
Yeah, got to lift your own body weight. I'm not into
like
the
one of the main things that changed for me, and like I'm going to ask you the same in a second, but like one of the main things that changed for me during this isolation period is that like I don't go to the gym every day anymore, obviously, but we're working out at home, and so we have like a cinder block, 2 like rubber bands, and like a table and a thing, and like we're making like full on workouts out of that, and it struck me as I never thought of it. Never once in my life did I go like, you know what? I could train from home. No, never happened. Yeah. And then now I'm going to go like, actually, that is a valid alternative.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I've always been an advocate for that. Like I've always done bodyweight stuff, and I'm kind of, gyms are a bit boring for me. I mean, if you go on just the fact that I go on activities every weekend, I just can't do a gym. But saying that, I have seen, being from Africa, the ingenuity that some folks have when it comes to exercise, because they can't afford a gym and it's a third world country. So just as you described, cinder blocks, these fellas are like, and ladies, they're just like making all sorts of weird things. Yeah. I have a story of like, we used to go and play in this squash court. And there's a big social difference in South Africa between the lower socioeconomic and like medium to upper folk as well. And so we walked into the squash court, and I just saw like a plethora of different devices made of concrete and steel, and I didn't know what they were. And half an hour later, I found out that that's, folks came in and they started using it.
Yeah,
it was a freaking gym. Yeah, so cool. Yeah,
that is awesome. Well, but like that's I don't know. I love, as you said, like the ingenuity and also like the spirit that goes behind people solving problems. Like most of the things we have and we use every day were born out of exactly that. Someone having a problem and going like, how do I fix it for myself? Coming up with an idea, and then someone else going like, actually, I could be using that. Me too. And realizing that it's a shared problem. And humans have that. Like most people have that, especially in like different situations. They will find a way to make things happen. And it's incredible. It's something that I love about humans, that are my favorite thing in the world. And now I can't see them or hug them.
Oh, oh man. I did something similar to that the other day when I was eating my food. It's a little bit of a weird thing to share. But like I didn't have cutlery. So I didn't want to move. And I was like, I'm a human. I have ingenuity. I can freaking eat this food without my hands, and I can find something.
Without your hands? Okay.
Without, no, I used my hands on the tool that I picked up. So I like found this, like, I found it like some stick that was just like, it all had to be within reach. I had to be able to reach it.
Yeah.
And like this, I had like an orange peel.
That's great.
I just had to make do. Yeah. Because it's so easy to just get up and go get a fork from the kitchen. But yeah.
Like legitimately, it's more complex to find a way to eat with an orange peel and a stick. But I think that like the real value in that is also like the gamification, the sense of like, let me entertain myself, let me think outside the box, let me do a thing just for the sake of having fun for a second without having it to be something else. It's great.
Yeah, yeah. No, that is, yeah, totally down for anything like that. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you a couple more questions before we have to go. The first one being, how did this whole situation affect your work?
Okay, I have no work right now. Like, I think I was doing really well with interacting people in framework, and that generated a lot of relationships. Yeah. And so therefore, like when we're talking about what we're doing out of curiosity, then that kind of generated a bit of income for me, which was nice. Usually my clients are from, well, because I'm changing now into workshops.
Yeah.
Coming from a 3D artist background. So a lot of my clients were in there were councils and architects. So, and I'd get a lot of work from them because I was doing 3D rendering.
Yeah.
I haven't really heard from anyone. Sometimes well, I would get like 1 or 2 tenders maybe every month, because it's not something I pursue a lot, but it does, bring in some income.
Yeah, like it pays the bills.
Yeah, and so that's
well, like, I think that's exactly where like most people that are creatives and freelancers are at the moment. Like even just like in this series of like doing the check-in with a different bunch of people from Framework, mostly everyone just said like, yep, done. Not working for now. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how long we have to like last like this. But
yeah. But on the flip side, I'm super excited about this workshop because I can literally access anyone, anywhere, and I can access the whole team at once. So I'm just putting a bunch of content together, also working with Annie to try and, we're making like a short film advert. And it just seems super rewarding for like the people. Like there's so many positive things that could happen with this workshop that I'm running that goes for that hour workshop. So yeah, I'm also super excited.
I would say like the funny thing, the flip side here is that if a month ago or 2 months ago when you were like starting to work on it, it felt cumbersome to use tools to like video chat or like have a video conference or like having a place where we can all like write down notes and jot down with Post-its and stuff. It felt like, oh, it's a bit impersonal. Why would people not want to do it in person? Right now, you have the perfect situation where everyone not only needs to, but wants to and appreciates it because they just learned how to use the tools and they're excited to explore them. So perfect timing.
Yeah, no, I think so too. And I think I'm looking forward to the interaction of it as well. And it'll help me settle a bit, being stuck, just like everyone else in their abodes. Yeah.
Pretty cool. Last thing I'm going to ask you is there any changes that like you need to make happen in your life during this time that you feel like you would want to keep after this all is gone?
So I have put in place a routine, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I used to kind of do the same routine when I was a freelancer and I'd work from home. But now it's almost a necessity, and it helps me focus. So I won't sit down at this desk which folds out of the structure. That's important because the desk itself is folded up when I'm sleeping or like when I'm not using the room, for example.
So there's like work time and non-work time, and it's like decided by like the orientation of the desk.
Yes, yeah. And I'll head outside first before this flops down, and when it flops down, I know that it's time to have fun or get work done or just play around.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's great.
So I want to keep that. Yeah.
So we're always going to see you in Framework with like, don't mind him. He's just Rob, the guy that flips the tables around. He's like every morning, good morning, fellas.
Yeah. Just like throws everything off. But it doesn't matter because that
leave, right? You don't have to like, no. I learned this routine. I need to put it in place. There's one table on each side when you're not there.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Clients will be asking the question. They'll be like, what's going on here? It's like, we don't judge in Framework. Anyone can do what they want to do.
No one asks. No one knows. Okay?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being with us this morning, man. It's been super cool, especially like knowing, like discovering a little bit about your place and your DIY like spirit and all that. That's pretty cool. Once all of this is over, you have to show me how to do a bunch of things, please.
Yeah. I've got to
be a handyman one day.
Yeah. No, one day we'll do it. We'll put a time on it. We'll like execute it and make it happen 4 weeks from now. Well, okay. We don't know when it ends.
The new project is like you have to destroy your house and rebuild it in 5 weeks.
Yeah. And I'm gonna load the Asana board right now. We're gonna do it. No.
Thank you so much, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Nico. I'll speak to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.